Yesterday I made a video about being mindful of what you say to attract and like build your world, right? Today, I'm in my shop again and I just got done with a client. And did I take anything from that client? Not necessarily, but I was just thinking more so along the lines of like, once you make a decision, life really starts to move differently. And I might have talked on this yesterday, but it just seems so simple. But I swear to you, let's back up. I swear to you, once you just decide you're going to start taking care of yourself. I don't know, just for example, I'm really into nails right now, and I'm like every day, I have decided I am going to do nails, crank out a set. Because when I think about my business, I was doing hair and it wasn't much to think about. It was just like, I did one person's hair, people started asking me. I wasn't even good. I look back on those pictures and I'm like, what the fuck was everybody thinking? What was everybody thinking? Asking me to do their hair. It wasn't good. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't just like I didn't know what I was doing. But I wouldn't. You just like could see the growth. But when you think, it just snowballed. So I'm thinking about so many things that I could do, right? So many things I like. And is that my client? There's so many things I like. And if you're on this video for one, don't anticipate me getting my words out fast, because that's another thing I've been doing is slowing the fuck down. Not thinking so much, not premeditating my thoughts, but slow the fuck down. Just slow the fuck down. Get out what you need to say. Pronunciate. Enunciate. It's not pronunciate, it's enunciate. Nancy the spider. Anyways. All that overthinking, is this good or is it not? I used to have a little perfectionism going on. And now it's just like, you really don't have a lot of time to be going back and forth, being indecisive. Hold on, let me lock my door. Yeah, like you don't have a lot of time in your life because the days need to be lived, right? So you're sitting here going back and forth. And I'm saying this because I used to do this all the time. I want to move to this place, but I'm also contemplating this other place, and I'm contemplating this other place, and I'm factoring in too many things. And all of it, it's just one day I realized I can make a decision, and that decision will be the best decision because I stood on it, I made it, and what will come from that is what it was supposed to be, because I just decided. And then everything starts falling into place. But spending so much time tinkering on these other options, that's when doubt starts to come in. That's when the confusion starts to come in, because it's like, now I don't believe in myself because I can't make a solid decision because I'm factoring in too many things. I'm overthinking. I'm analyzing everything down. And it's just like, now my faith in myself is dwindling when I have all these options. Life has so many options. Just decide and move on. And then everything else starts falling into place. And then you look around and you're like, wow, I built this wonderful thing. I used to look at other people and say like, how How did they have the courage? How did they know that they wanted to do something? Like, when in fact, the reality is, it's like it's kind of like an awkward height. In fact, you just decide and then you keep making the decisions down said path. You don't even really have to have an emotional tie to it. Because what I do, I like hair. It's cool. It's easy. I don't think too hard every day. I get into a flow. But it could have been anything if you just decided, oh, I'm gonna stick with this. And then if it's not working out for you, there will be obvious signs, you know. But I think that's really all I wanted to say is once you make it, how about you just dare yourself to make a decision and then see what comes from that? And that's what I've been doing. I even play little mind games like, okay, I dare this, whatever decision, I dare this to be the best thing that I could have done for myself. And I think positively, I think everything is working out in my favor. And I really do think, let me get into this. When people want to get real spiritual and they say like the new earth and all of these things, we're going into a new phase, we're going into a new era. Everything has cycles, everything grows. So, excuse me, all of those things are valid. All of those things are valid, but it's just like perspective. You think we're on a new planet, you think we're in a new world, a new realm. It's just kind of like, so be it. Whatever makes you successful in your days, believe that. Right? If that helps you, believe that. That's why some people choose religion, because they believe that is going to make their life better. Or some people choose it as punishment. I don't know. But my point is, there are cycles. Everything that is living has a cycle. So it is factual that we are evolving, especially if you're interested in what I'm talking about. But the grounding part is realizing this is still just the human experience of being a part of nature. Things evolve and they grow. And once you get a new mindset and a new perspective, it starts to become more easier to navigate life because you're not in resistance of what's happening around you. There's a natural flow to things. You're not constantly fighting each and every day. You're looking for the harmony and the peace in your reality. So whatever you can do to garner that peace, you're gonna do it. So if you're met with so much resistance, those can be simple signs to say, what is it in me that I have going on that's creating a block to where I can't navigate things that I want to? Because you really should be able to think something and then it immediately manifests, because you are now a vessel of just creation being created. But if you are constantly doubting yourself, if you're constantly questioning everything, then those ideas, which is just energy, which is plasma, which is just, I was gonna say minerals, but it's not minerals. We're thinking about frequencies and how frequencies travel and into your brain and energy. Just like we're all living in a body, okay? It has information. How is that information going to get to you if you have these blockages, is what I'm saying. So that's why it becomes easier to return things back to yourself and then work through them and say, I'm still upset at what happened to me when I was 5 because it was so traumatic and I haven't been able to move past it. But once you acknowledge what happened and you're open to the results and pay attention to your reality and how it shows up because you asked for clarity. Once you get those messages, blah, 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 speed it on up. Now you're realizing like, okay, it's easier for me to welcome people in, be friendly, have new friends, seek out new opportunities, speak in front of people and not feel shy, navigate the world and feel confident. Whatever it may be, whatever that thing is, it just becomes easier. Everything becomes a flow. And so back again with that video I did yesterday when I was talking about my client and I'm listening, and it's just like you can hone in on negativity and you can really become negative. We all know this now. This is like elementary. But if you don't evolve past it and learn what it is about you, those things will just manifest into your life. I think I lost my train of thought and what my point was, but all I'm saying is, remember, you're a creator God. It gets more fun. And once things start flowing through you easily and you don't overthink it and you kind of move out of your own fucking way, I can guarantee this shit just gets more and just more fun. I've literally said there's no need to chase anything. That doesn't mean you don't go after the things you want, but it's a different type of tone. And a little 2 cents, because I was watching that Pop the Balloon, which I think might be a psyop, because there's people on there that are talking about, I just live my life, when they're asking you what job you have. I just live because I believe that everybody should be creating, and I believe that everybody should focus on what they love. Yes, you are perspectives ahead of everybody else. This is internal thoughts that gets you to perform and be the better you. You don't have to push this mindset on the population because they're not there. If we were there, we would be living in a utopia and we wouldn't be having to have these videos. So I'm saying that as a reminder, if you come across this type of information and you're looking at other occult information, other spiritual information that has to do with self-work, and you get it to the radical change side, keep that shit to yourself. These are your own thoughts that you help yourself, unless you get around people who are like-minded. But when you are amongst people who are not of the same thoughts, shut the fuck up. Literally stop talking. 1, you sound crazy. 2, if you're not grounded in your thought, why do you even think? What? Ask yourself, why do you feel the desire to share this? You want people to believe what you believe? You want to push your thoughts onto them and they are not there yet? Now it's getting like you have control problems. Just let people do them. The people who want to get together and talk about these type of topics, they find each other naturally. But I'm just saying this because I felt like when I seen that video on Pop the Balloon, that girl seemed like she had absorbed too much information on the internet that people are telling other people, be free, go do what you want, don't value work, quit your 9 to 5. No, if you're not there, you're not there. You don't need to jump out the window and do nothing crazy if you don't believe in yourself yet. And in that interim time, what is that? The interim whatever the word is, the filler time. You don't need to share your journey with everybody, because if you feel the need to seek validation by talking about it all the time with people who don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, that's something else that you need to let go. You need to not give a fuck. There's an energy that comes over you when you don't give a fuck what other people think. You're not seeking their validation. You become strong, and your presence speaks volumes. Volumes. Okay? Because you feel like you can trust yourself. And other people can feel that too. So when you're just yapping on shit, that's like somebody pushing their religion onto me. I would literally be like, what? Get the fuck out of here. You sound batshit crazy. But to somebody else who's aligned with that thought, now they have something in common. But yeah, just a reminder. When you get to the self-actualization stage of your life experience and you really don't give a fuck and you're not seeking validation and you're sovereign in your own mind and you're doing your own thing and you really don't care and you don't feel guilt, you are evolving. You have emotional intelligence. You are evolving a little bit faster than the mass consciousness. The mass American, the average American, the conscious thought that America has isn't that, because everybody is the things are still operating like normal. So just shut the fuck up and stop talking so much. And with that, I'm gonna stop talking so much. So we're not editing anything, we're just posting. Don't think so much, just do. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. Create. Remember, creating clears your system. You're a vessel walking through, filtering things, receiving information, pushing it out, receiving information, pushing it out. And once you get to a point where you're able to create your own thoughts and do and take control of what you're filtering and what you're putting out, things get even more fun. But yeah, the key was just don't overthink. I think. I think. Who knows? Just put stuff out, even if it's not. I think so many times people are like, just post the stuff, post it. It's not even about posting and being online. It's like, do some shit in real life and just create it. Crank that shit out.